40 below zero. It's December. And the old oil barrel stove is glowing and sputtering right there in the center of the room. And old Louis Golden, with the red cheeks and the broad white apron, can tell you exactly where everything was. Like, the fruit cakes were right there in the back. No offense. The nuts were down here in the front, obviously. And don't even get me started on where the tarts were. Why are you nodding? And then in 1940, it became Paul Feast Sheet Metal, then Paul Feast Sheet Metal and Brewery. And then in 1967, the entire building was moved from its original location, at first in Wickersham, to its current location right here in Pioneer Park, where it became known as the Palace Theater and Saloon. And then a few years ago, it became just the Palace Theater. Yeah, that's right, we're no longer a saloon. So if you want some beer, that's just some tough sheet metal. Sheet metal. But if you find yourself thirsty, we do have some water. And you can find that in the old-fashioned cooler right there in the back. Speaking of water, if you've taken on too much water, our bathrooms are located on either side of Paloma's control room. Speaking of Paloma, there is Paloma now, our lovely stage manager. Hello, Paloma! Now, very rarely, hardly ever in the history of Everdom has there been a fire in the august history of this venerable building. But if one should break out, perhaps ignited by the smoldering glances of our three can girls. Yeah. You want to exit through those double doors you came in, or the double doors right behind our lovely and/or talented Joylene. I meant Ann. And yes, to answer your questions, we love it when you take my picture. Our picture. I meant ours. Flash photography is fine. Video is great. Just be careful not to distract those patrons around you. Speaking of distractions, now might be a good time to pull out the cell phones, put them into a silent airplane mode, turn them off. You can also pass them all forward to me. And then I will pass them off to Paloma, and Paloma will videotape the entire show for you so you don't miss a thing. Paloma will not do that. But now is a good time to introduce the rest of our cast. With the help of Bluebell, may I present Amy, and Jamaica, and Ethan. And we'd like to let you in on a little tradition that we have here at the Palace. All we want you to do is link arms with the person sitting to the left and to the right of you. Go ahead and do that now. Even if you don't know the person sitting next to you. Even if you don't like the person sitting next to you. We want you to do it anyway. Now all we're going to do is sway side to side and back and forth. Sing with us.
East side, west side, all around the town. The tops sing ring around Rosie, London Bridge is falling down. Boys and girls together, me and Mamie O'Rourke. We trip the life fantastic on the sidewalks of New York. Daisy, Daisy, tell me your answer's true.
Just the ladies.
I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
The other man.
It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage.
Now everyone.
But you'll the street upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
How's the baseball?
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back to the truth. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Palace Theater. Tonight we are pleased to present the Golden Heart Revue. That's right, we're the Palace Players, and we live right here in beautiful Fairbanks, Alaska. How about you folks? How many of you are from out of town? And how many of you are locals tonight? Well, gotta watch out for the local. They tend to get a little rowdy later on. And don't believe them when they tell you moose nuggets taste like pine nuts.
A lot of you have questions about Fairbanks. Those of us who live here already know that the best thing about living in Fairbanks is being able to talk about it.
But tonight, we're going to do more than just talk about it.
We're going to share a little juicy gossip.
Grab a few skeletons in the old town closet.
And try to give you an idea of what it's like to live here, so close to Russia.
The first big question about Fairbanks is, why?
Well, it all started off with the big gold rush, like Dawson or Nome. But the gold was tougher to mine here in Fairbanks because it was buried deeper. So the miners stayed longer, brought their families, and dug in.
One reason they dug in was because most of the year there was no way to get out.
That's right, steamboats were the major form of transportation. But then the railroad came, bringing with it the first president to visit Fairbanks, Warren G. Harding. And we all know what a winner he was.
The first airplane of the whole territory was right here in town. Now, within a few years, we were flying all over the country. But big change came with World War II, when the Army Corps of Engineers built the Alaska-Canadian Highway, and that linked us to the rest of the world.
After that, it was all downhill.
Now, Alaska became a state in 1959. Although folks around here think we'd be better off as an OPEC country selling you folks oil.
When oil was discovered in the North Slope.
The big oil companies got involved.
And by 1977,
We had our first big tourist attraction.
The pipeline! Other than that, it's been pretty quiet around here for the last 120 years or so. Have we covered everything?
We had a few earthquakes.
Nothing much to brag about.
oh, we had some good fires.
Oh, some floods.
Everyone still talks about that one in 1967.
Yeah, and everyone still wants riverfront property.
That brings us to the first part of our Fairbanks story. That of a man who was hell-bent on establishing the first major trading post here in the Tanana Valley. Now, to claim his objective, this turn-of-the-century entrepreneur loaded up a steamboat with goods and headed up the mighty Yukon, up the majestic Tanana, and into the dinky Chena River.
I, Captain E.T. Barnett, a passenger on the riverboat LaBelle Young, disembarked near this site on August 26, 1901, and established a trading post which in 1902 became Fairbanks.
Well, that's partly true. Only we didn't disembark. We were kicked off because that's as far as the steamer would go. I warned you. Everybody warned you. What goes up the Chena doesn't necessarily come down. I was hysterical, being stranded in the middle of nowhere.
So there I was with my new wife Isabel and a few gold seekers of the usual sort, and I don't mean miners. Dumped off on a chunk of ground a little less swampy than elsewhere, but all pretty much
A godforsaken country, I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know what we would have done if it hadn't have been for the sudden appearance of a hungry, half-crazed, and very lucky miner named Felix Pedro.
Hey! And Sammy!
That fateful meeting marked the birth of modern civilization in the Tanana Valley.
well, friend, I hear you struck gold.
Oh my God, I got it a gold.
You got any gold?
I'm just a sit on down the mother alone. Oh by God, there's a big a bunch of lotta. Oh by God, I got it a gold. Where? It's right over there. Kinda. Take my word. She's close.
Why, when word of this gets out, miners will come from all over. We can sell everything we've got.
Some things we can friends.
Hey, mister, you got any beans for sale? I'm mighty hungry.
Beans? Do I have beans? Well, come right this way, sir. I got kidney beans, lima beans, pinto beans.
My. I bet it's been a long time since you've had a hot piece of ass.
Apple pie, am I right?
Are you some kind of loose woman?
Ooh, honey, if you can find anything on me that sags, you can keep it. Free for nothing. Oh, I got the gold.
Hey, where's my gold?
Just wait a minute! There's plenty of gold here for everyone. It's just the break we need to start up a town.
Here? In the middle of nowhere?
Oh, I know it's not much to look at now, I grant you, but just look to the future. That's what I see when I look into this valley. The future. I see a town in my imagination.
In his imagination,
I see a town
Where?
right here in my dreams. I see a hustling, bustling, thriving metropolis of rough, tough, good-hearted people. I say put up a town down by the river. Put up a town down by the river. Put up a town down by the river. Hey, let's put up a town. I see a fire department to handle any fires.
And a little white church with one of those spires.
And a balcony in back for the men's and ladies' choirs. What this place needs is a town. What we really need is a put up a town down by the river. Put up a town down by the river. Put up a town down by the river. Hey, let's put up a town.
Oh, you see an opera house.
Oh, yes, an opera house will do Aida and Faust. Faust, oh, yes, we must do Faust. I see a city hall. Oh, yes, the city hall. For the good of all. Oh, yes, the good of all.
We need a grocery store.
Oh, yes, a grocery store. And a whole lot more. We need a whole lot more. We need a body house.
What kind of a house?
Oh, an opera house will do Aida and Faust. Faust, oh yes, we must do Faust. I see parks and lawns where the little children frolic.
A statue in the park, something meaningfully symbolic.
And a first-rate clinic for the kiddies with the colic. What this place needs in the Skull Stampede is a town. Yes, with all due speed. What we really need is a put up the town down by the river. Put up the town down by the river. Put up the town down by the river. Yes, it took Barnett just a couple of years to set up shop. Business wasn't so good, however, until he helped the word to get out. And in January of 1903, the word was, well, in a word, incredible.
Telegram from the middle of nowhere to Dawson City, Yukon Territory. Stop. Rich strike in the Tenema Valley. Stop. Bigger than Bonanza, El Dorado, and gold combined. Don't stop. Take it to Barnett's Trading Post, Fairbanks, Alaska. Now, stop.
So that was the word anyway. And it spread like soft butter on hot bread. So, About 800 stampeders raced out of Dawson City for the only trading post in the Tanana Valley. 500 miles in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of winter, only to discover that the word had failed to mention a few important details.
Fairbanks a bus. Stop. No gold, no food, no jobs. Stop.
Stop! Well, there was gold, all right. Lots of it, as you know, but not many of those first stampeders were going to be seeing much of it.
Oh, I wish I'd done potatoes, 'cause potatoes you can eat. I wish I'd dug just 6 feet down and jumped in head and feet. I'm tired of digging and digging and digging for gold that isn't there. Oh, where? Tell me where, tell me where, tell me where can it be? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Oh, I wish I dug up turnips, 'cause now that'd be a treat. I wish I dug for sweet potatoes just because they're sweet. Now gold is good for lots of things, but gold's no good to eat. Oh, where? Tell me where, tell me where, tell me where can it be? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? No, I'm mad.
Oh, he's mad.
I'm so mad I can stomp.
He's so mad he could stomp.
I'm so mad I can stomp my foot.
He's so mad he stomped his foot.
I'm so mad I can stomp my foot till the break of dawn. They told us it was here and now we're crying in our beer, 'cause the gold was never here and now it's gone. If I just dug a little deeper into the bowels of the earth, if I just dug a little deeper, I might have got my money's worth. But I'd be all the way to China. At least in China they got rice. A bowl of rice and beans in China would put my appetite on ice. Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Darn gold! Oh, I'm mad.
Oh, I'm mad.
I'm so mad.
I'm so mad I could stomp.
I'm so mad I can stomp my foot.
I'm so mad I could stomp my foot.
I'm so mad I can stomp my foot till the break of dawn. They told us it was here.
They made it absolutely clear.
But the gold was never here, and now it's gone. Oh Lord, it's gone. Oh God, it's gone. I'm so mad I can
Stomp. That's it. Oh.
The only one striking it rich was a certain shopkeeper, pencil miner, and stampede starter by the name of E.T. Barnett. Now, a few folks thought he was a scoundrel and he should be hanged, but Barnett also had his supporters and he would live to see his trading post become a boomtown. Yes, it seems that Barnett's vision and a little blind luck did just the trick, and he managed to attract the attention of Alaska's new federal judge, James Wickersham, who paid his respects to Fairbanks that very spring of 1903. Now, Wickersham said of his visit, and I quote,
The town is a half-dozen squat log cabins, a few tents, and a clearing in the primeval forest. Barnett's trading post is a rough log structure that looks like a pigsty.
end quote. But he put the court in the jailhouse here anyway, giving Fairbanks the official stamp of approval, if not the Good Housekeeping Award. Oh.
As you can imagine, there was a lot of housekeeping to do. That's without us. And without them. So, the city fathers fenced off 4th Avenue directly behind City Hall, where the so-called ladies of the line could brighten the lives of needy bachelors.
That long row of cabins was a healthy part of the Fairbanks economy for a few years. You might even say it was our first big cottage industry.
And while working circumstances often kept us apart,
Sometimes chance and necessity threw us right together.
Well, a respectable proximity anyway. In the days before our town got organized, these ladies might find themselves doing a load of wash at the First Avenue Bathhouse and Laundry. Respectable women work both night and day. Working day and night in the most respectable way. Never letting down, never letting down, never letting down, never ever letting go. Never saying no, never saying it's impossible, never letting spirits get low. Never giving up, never giving in, never letting down, never ever letting go. Oh, if anything, we're respectable. In between shovels of mud and hauling margarine wood and sacks of beans and flour. In between entertaining a gentleman here, a gentleman there, by the hour. In between fighting fires just like a man, a woman standing alongside man. In between cleaning up the mess they made and starting to build all over again, we still time, just a little time, when all the time we must be respectable. At the end of a long and busy day, we try to steal away for a little while. Just enough time to get away from it all, to recall for a moment who we really are. Just enough time for a couple deep breaths and a hurried prayer for the grace to accept. To accept the way things are, the way things are. Irrespectable, the way things are. Irrespectable, the way things are. The way things
By 1910, many Fairbanks residents shared 20 years of adventures together in the far north. Fraternal organizations like the Arctic Brotherhood founded and flourished. Newcomers with the right connections were welcome, but no women were allowed.
Yeah!
Next number, you'll understand why the women didn't complain. Hey. I best turn the stage over for a few of the gents for a smoker at the Arctic Brotherhood.
Good evening, Captain Barnett. Good to see you in town. Church leadership, always.
No, I told him, moose nuggets really do taste like pine nuts. Oh, come on in, Muley, don't be shy.
What do you call yourselves again?
Oh, the Arctic Brotherhood, the first fraternal order of the Great Land.
Is it just me or is everyone staring at me?
Don't give it another thought. You're with me, they'll warm up to you.
That's good.
Once you join the club.
What?
Your attention, please. May I present a candidate for membership, Mr. Muley McGee. late of the Tenderfoot Dairy Farm in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and my cousin. Any objections to his entry? None. Good. Then welcome, brother. Hey, brother, why don't you show brother Muley here our secret handshake?
Now, hold up a second. That's it? I walk in the door and you make me a member before I can even say hello.
Hey kid, have you got the $5 initial due?
$5?
$5.
$5.
Close enough.
Oh, let me show you this handshake. Here we go. Like this. ARCTIC.
Arctic Brotherhood! Arctic Brotherhood! Brothers! Hey, it's not quite enough of that. Next comes the initiation.
Wait, I thought that was the initiation.
No.
The values of the brotherhood are simple. Fraternity, roots, and fine song.
Now when you're at a smoker at the Arctic Brotherhood, whiskey flows like water flows. The company's always good. And you can sit in your favorite chair most all afternoon. And no one will even know you're there till you yawn, you stretch, you hum a little tune at the smoker. Smoker, a little poker on the side. Drink up, Muley. Smoker, smoker, where the plaintive heart gets taken for a ride.
Whiskey flows like water here. Cigar smokes thick as soup.
Brotherly love flows just as thick when your spirit starts to droop. Come on! So leave that ball and chain at home where we all know she belongs. Cause when the boys get together, the boys will be boys. Tell it loud, make a noise, sing some good old songs at the smoker. Smoker, a little poker on the side. Hang on, Mule. Smoker, smoker, where it's low down and dirty when the stakes get high. So come to the smoker, it's a dangerous den where the women ain't allowed and it's just men among men. At the smoker, at the Arctic Brotherhood. All right, Muley, let's dance. Hey, pretty nice, Muley. Try this. Little kicks. There it is. Big circle. There we go. Bring it on now. At the end of the night when we're lonely and so awfully misunderstood, you've always got your brothers, no sisters but some others. Always got your brothers at the Arctic Brotherhood, and that's good.
My son and grandson.
Yes, there were many ways to fight the cold and loneliness of the far north, like you've just seen in that boys' night in. But what about the boys' night out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are other ways to fight the cold and loneliness. Ways that included the Daughters of Eve. Now, even if you didn't belong to any one of the 20 or so fraternal organizations here in town, any miner with the price of a drink could meet the talented cream of the abundant crop of actresses and dancers at any one of our 20 or so dance halls. Now, they were home to miners and dandies and, yeah, even a few dandelions. Fairbanks was a town of few last names, and the women were known by colorful monikers just like the men. So, imagine Ham Grease Jimmy or Two-Step Louie with the likes of Passionate Annie or the Utah Philly. Come with us now as we take a look at these pioneer entertainers who risk life and limb just to bring a little joy into the hearts of lonely miners in a salute To the dance hall, girl!
Louder, dear.
In a good old time saloon, they wouldn't let me sing because I couldn't find the tune. So I practiced and I practiced till I found that perfect A. And now he lets me sing and dance my little calls me luscious loopies. I just comes up from Valdez to entertain you. I'm going to strut my stuff, and I hope it's enough to entertain you. I'm wearing ruffles and lace, 2 dots of rouge on my face. I've got some twinkles in my mind. I try 100% to pay my board and my rent. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna live before I die. Here we go. I am the Oregon mayor, and my state name is Minnie. When I do the can, I do it with the Winnie. I wear my nostrils and snort and I love. I horse around a little, 'cause I like to play around. I like to bare my teeth, I like to toss my mane. I hop around in circles till I drive you insane. I am the Oregon mayor, Oregon Minnie, that's me. I'm a thoroughbred filly, I'm no sad sack. I'll buck into your dizzy and then get on my back. I am the Oregon mayor. Saddle up in your dinner, eat your heart out, Louise. I am the Oregon mayor. Oregon Minnie, that's me.
And Minnie, here we go. Michael Silver.
I know who this is. Yeah, I know. I know it.
I am Peaches Latour, and I come straight from Paris. I do the can petite wee wee. I'm causing scandals and rumors by showering my bloomers. Doing the can Paris. You like my bonbons, you crave me sherry. Check out the little dimples that I got on one knee. Let me blow you a kiss, say mwah. 'Cause Peaches does it her own special way. Dum, da, dum, dum.
So pretty, so delicate.
I like to spread good spit to keep them howling wolves at bay. I use the can Parisian my own special way. Wait. Are we going to die? I was trying to show. Really?
Well, that ought to give you a pretty good idea of why vaudeville died. Oh. Hey, thanks, bud. By 1910, the end of an era was at hand. Gold production began to fall, and so did E.T. Barnett. Yes, it seems that our founding father slipped out of town by dog sled in the middle of night in the middle of winter. Charges of embezzlement from the Washington, Alaska bank, which he owned, never quite stuck, except for in the minds of investors who lost their savings in the crash of 1911. And Felix Pedro, the miner who started it all, died. He died 8 years to the day after making his discovery. Judge Wickersham, on the other hand, traded in the Fairbanks Frigidaire for the hot air of the U.S. Congress. Whereas our territorial representative, he fought to establish Alaska's railroads, our northern university, and then finally, statehood.
It seems like a lot of our history's gotten torn down.
Covered up,
Repaved,
recycled,
used up.
or changed so much that we just don't recognize it anymore.
Some things haven't changed. We still have one of the highest cost of living of any place in the U.S.
Yeah. On the other hand, this is the least desirable place to live, so it all kind of balances out.
You may be wondering why we choose to live here after all. I mean, Fairbanks looks pretty much like any other place in the world.
Well, it's simply a matter of choice. We choose to live here. Where else can you go outside with a pot of boiling water at 40 below to throw it in the air and it never comes back down?
We choose to live here. We're to amuse ourselves in winter. We hitch a bunch of dogs to the sled to drag us 1,000 miles out into the wilderness.
All while being chased by a dozen more teams and a CNN camera crew.
Dog mush is more popular today than it was the night E.T. Barnett slipped out of town.
And modern mushers, man and woman alike, have got to know their teams like the back of their hand.
Because when you hit the frozen trails in these parts, you better know who's on your team. Who's on tail and who's on lead. Here comes Jamaica. She's going to tell you all about it.
Thank you, Lurleen. As you may know, the lead dogs are the 1 or 2 specially trained dogs who show the team the way to go and respond to commands of the musher. Your swing dogs are the ones in the middle. They're the ones who help the team through the tight turns without cutting the corners. And your wheel dogs are the ones right in front of the sled. They're your big, strong guys who always pull and never give up. It seems there's a weird team in the race this year. There are only 3 dogs on this team, and apparently, who's in lead, what's in swing, and I don't know, is the wheel dog.
You know, I heard about this dog team, and I was wondering if you could tell me the names of the dogs on the team.
I'm telling you, who's in lead, what's in swing, and I don't know, is the wheel dog.
So you know the dog's names?
Yes.
Well, then who's in lead?
Yes.
The dog's name in lead.
Who?
The dog in front of the dog team.
Who?
The lead dog.
Who is in lead?
What are you asking me for?
Well, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who's in lead?
I'm asking you who is in lead.
That's the dog's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The dog's name in lead.
Who?
Look, is there a lead dog for this team?
Certainly.
All right, I'm trying to find out what's the dog's name in lead.
No. What's the swing dog's name?
I'm not asking you who's in swing.
Who's in lead?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, don't change the dog.
I'm not changing anything around.
Okay.
All right, I want to know what's the dog's name in lead.
What's the swing dog's name?
I'm not asking you who's in swing.
Who's in lead?
I don't know.
He's the wheel dog.
How do we get to the wheel dog?
You mentioned his name.
Okay, if I mention the wheel dog's name, who did I say was pulling wheel?
Who's in
Well,
lead?
stay out of the lead, will you?
Okay. What is it you'd like to know?
I'd like to know what's the wheel dog's name.
What's the swing dog's name?
I'm not asking you who's in swing.
Who's in lead?
I don't know.
He's the wheel dog.
So this team have a musher.
Absolutely.
Okay, tell me the musher's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
I just thought I'd tell you.
Well, go ahead and tell me who's the musher.
Who's in lead?
But stay out of the dog team, okay?
Don't mention any names there.
All right, I want to know what's the musher's name.
What's the swing dog's name?
I'm not asking you who's in swing.
Who's in lead?
I don't know.
He's the
Wheel dog, yeah. And the musher's name?
Why?
Because.
Because. Now she's the handler. Great gal, does a good job.
So this team have a sponsor.
Well, they couldn't be in a race without a sponsor.
Well, go ahead and tell me the sponsor's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today.
No, I'm telling you, man.
Go ahead and tell me.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's the sponsor?
Now listen. Who is not the sponsor? Who is?
Don't you dare tell me who's in
You're
there! I want to know what's the sponsor's name.
What's the swing dog's name?
I'm not asking you who's in swing.
Who's in lead?
I don't know.
He's the
wheel dog. So you feed the dog teams good food.
Absolutely.
Okay, the dog food's name.
Today.
Today. Tomorrow's the sponsor.
Oh, now you're getting it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, no, I'm a pretty good musher too myself, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, I might want to help out sometime.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
So, you know, being a good musher, you got to get a real good feel for the dog team. You know, so you want to make sure you get some good food.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe throw in some meat scraps and you drop in some eggs and you get a big pot and you mix it all up. Right. Yeah, me being the good musher, I'm going to get especially close to the lead dog, right? So I go out to the dog yard and I give the food to who?
That's the first thing you said, right?
I always know what I'm talking about.
That's all you gotta do.
So I feed the dogs today, I get the food tomorrow. I give it to who, what for, I don't know. I don't care.
Wait, what was that?
I said I don't care.
Oh, that's the guy who makes the sled.
I give up. When does baseball start?
Oh, you like
We Fairbanksons like to stay off the beaten path, but sometimes when we need to get out of a rut, we choose the road to higher education. When the University of Alaska opened its doors in 1922, it was called the Alaska Agricultural College and School of Mines. Now, farming and geology are still subjects for debate there, but recently, some new intriguing courses have been added to the curriculum. Here, to present a lecture from his popular course, Bush Studies 101, is a man who is part archaeologist, part social scientist, a world-renowned authority on life in the bush, and chairman of the University of Alaska Department of Bush Studies. Please welcome Professor T.A. Gladbottom.
Good evening, class.
Good evening, Professor Gladbottom.
So, you know, the future certainly isn't what it used to be. In Fairbanks, as with any major American city, most of the population lives outside the city proper. In the continental United States, this is known as suburbia, but here, it is known as the suburban bush. Now say it with me now.
Suburban bush.
Thank you. Instead of keeping up with the Joneses, people here believe progress might have been all right once, but it has gone on far too long. Faced with the choice of drilling a well, which is very expensive, and putting in plumbing that will freeze every winter, people here choose the practical and simple solution. The little brown shack out back. Now, let's take a look at modern outhouse technology, shall we? The basic design is the same, with a dependable old-fashioned shed roof. Though the size may vary, depending on whether you want one hole or two. I never quite understood why someone would want a two-holer. Why they would want company. During the most private moments. Is it for moral support, perhaps? You know, go, go! Now, there are 2 glad bottoms. Now, people like to decorate the plain slab door with a traditional crescent moon cutout. But many outhouses avoid that pesky door problem altogether by simply not having a 4th wall. Now, it is a bit chillier that way, but the ventilation is good, and the view is superb. That brings us to the golden heart of the matter, the fundamental feature of the outhouse, a warm place to sit. Now, people choose the traditional equipment, a wooden seat that hangs inside just behind the stovepipe until it's time to take that short walk out after dinner. Be careful though, failure to stand above this little beauty has been known to cause deep-voiced men to yawn! But it is still my favorite. Another local favorite is the styrofoam seat. It doesn't have to be brought back inside to thaw out, and it stays nice, soft, ample and warm, even in the coldest weather. Now, people like to cover their seats with an infinite variety of materials. Let's take this next one, for example. The Arctic Fun Fur Covering. It provides hours of wonderful memories, lasting impressions, and it also makes a nice airline logo.
Oh dear.
Now for the homey touch, try the quilted one. It's stone glove, and every swatch tells a story. Oh, sorry. Something right here. You have a bit of something right here. Give it a quick swipe. I don't know how she doesn't smell. I'm sorry. All those were cleaned beforehand. Now, as you can see from all that, the suburban bush dweller used the outhouse as a chance to express themselves. And this gives rise to the theme outhouse, where the designer builder can truly get their creative juices flowing. Now that brings us to the log and slab construction outhouse. Locally, it's referred to as the call of the wild. In the fall, it doubles as a duck blind. One of these days, I'm gonna get that from you. Now, you can also see modern architecture behind the outhouse with the geodesic dome outhouse.
Oh dear.
It is complete with an observation dome, where on a clear winter's night you can truly have a heavenly auroral movement. Now, you must prepare yourselves to ooh and to ah for the fantasy dream model known as the Fantasia. Somebody could say Rapunzel could let down her hair in this one. And it puts a whole new meaning on the word throne room. Yes, you may say the outhouse has become a symbol for a state of mind. while the rest of the world is racing through the 21st century, the local attitude here is, have a seat. Thank you. Take a load off. And it is that kind of thinking that does my heart good. Now class dismissed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to reassure you that if you are taking the Salmon Bank bus, or any other tour bus for that matter, your driver knows who you are. They know where you are, and they don't care. Just kidding. They won't leave without you, we guarantee it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Fairbanks has recorded temperatures ranging from a sultry 99 degrees Fahrenheit to a brisk -66, giving it the widest temperature spread of any city on Earth. Not only that, but we have 5 seasons. We have winter, we have breakup, we have construction, we have freeze up, and we have winter. Now, many locals find winter to be their favorite season because the mosquitoes die off and you can go back outside. Others, though, find it a good time to leave. It's usually around December that we start to hear our favorite winter anthem.
Honolulu, 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 Honolulu.
And aloha!
That means goodbye! Yes, sir, those who head south for the winter and those who stay and do battle with the weather. We salute that hardy breed of Alaskan with our Tanana Valley all-weather fashion review, featuring the many moods of the seasons. Jamaica is modeling our Bigger's Better Down parka with a glow-in-the-dark safety barrier accessory. This parka is personalized by stains and holes from battery acid she spilled while carrying a frozen car battery several winters ago. Giant pockets carry mittens, a flashlight, and a crescent wrench for removing frozen car batteries. Johan chooses the liberating snowmobiler special, a good bet for all but the coldest January days. Note the extended wear duct tape patches on elbows and knees. And across the back, bold, dashing stripes of light reflective tape shout, "Here I am, world!" on those dark winter nights. Both our models are equipped with versatile headgear that fit the temperatures, worn so for warm winter days. But when the ice fog creeps in, his fuzzy bald-faced cap creeps down, while her parka hood moves into periscope position, keeping faces cozy and adding a touch of romance. Balmy December days are a wonderful excuse to wear down vests, and down vests are a wonderful excuse for more pockets, for a small ice scraper, chapstick, extra socks, a toothbrush, and plenty of candy bars for added insulation. Now a word about footgear. Jamaica looks smart in her two-toed sorels, and he walks funny in his no-nonsense paper barrier bunny boots. Like the Minnesota bachelor farmer, the contemporary Alaskan wears his and hers wide-load pants and overalls, always 3 sizes too large, optional belts and or suspenders. And underneath, Jamaica wears our ever-popular, ever-wrinkling cotton peasant skirt. And underwear isn't just underwear anymore, not with our thermal elast skins. guaranteed to shrink in every wash, perfect for sitting or kneeling. And as we climb out of winter into the mud and slush, our duo trade in their felt packs for breakup boots, guaranteed by Goodyear for 10,000 puddles or 5 spring thaws. Johan goes casual with galoshes that should never be zipped, but we're loosey for that devil-may-care look. Both are wearing their favorite flannel shirts with pockets large enough to accommodate travel packs of Kleenex for nagging winter sniffles. Oh, bless you, my dear. Or in the summer, a life-saving bottle of Cutter's mosquito repellent. And when this heavy musk wafts through the Tanana Valley, the molting and courting process begins in earnest until our contemporary Alaskans emerge from their cocoons, stripped down for the midnight sun and fun, but not stripped down too far, since those chilly autumn days are just around the corner. And so we come full cycle with our Tanana Valley all-weather fashion review.
As you can see, we've had to develop quite a sense of humor to live here.
Now, some of us live here because of it all,
Some of us live here in spite of it all.
but all of us live here because we couldn't live without it all.
The music in tonight's show was composed by Jim Bell, known around here as Jimmy Bluebell. Jim began playing piano for the Palace as a young GI in 1967. Well, he took the job to heart, and for 35 years he played and composed for one of the most popular live shows in town, right here at the Palace Theater. Along the way, we lost Jim and many other beloved members of our Palace family, but their memories live on in this show. Now, Golden Heart Revue has been presented in pretty much the same fashion since 1986, and while a few things have changed over the years, we always end our show the same way, with a letter to an old friend. Dear friend, living in greetings from Fairbanks, and how are you? It's really lovely here this time of year. As the season changes, it draws you near. You feel the sunshine shining on your face. You feel the thrill and the sight of the skies and the wide open space. And if for no other reason than a change in the season happening daily, oh my friend, it's lovely here. Come to Alaska, come for yourself and see, it's lovely here. Come to Alaska, come for yourself and see, it's lovely here. Signed with love, your friend in Fairbanks, Alaska, USA. It's lovely here.